This is the Enya Inspire electric guitar in beige. Now, while this might look like a traditional electric guitar, there's actually quite a bit more going on. You can, of course, plug this directly into an amplifier, but we also get an onboard speaker and modeling capability. So this replaces the need for a practice amplifier as it's got its own speaker. You can just turn it on and get some really great tones. You can also run this directly out into an audio interface and record directly to a computer, and we'll showcase all the different tones in this video. Now, this is a right-handed guitar, and I'm a lefty, so my good friend Ben is back to showcase what this can do in the context of a mix, and then we'll go through some isolated tones. We're also going to take a look at this 4-button foot switch. I'll timestamp each section down in the description box below. But before we get into it, a massive thanks to Enya Music for sponsoring this video. If you want to take a look at this, I'll link it down in the description box. Let's get into it. Now play something fast. Let me give you a quick rundown of what we get in the box and also this electric guitar. So one of the cool things is we do get a gig bag with this, which is great. We also get some tools for making adjustments on the guitar, and we also get a nice little whammy bar here that plugs directly into the floating tremolo system. We get a wall charger, which has an American connector on the bottom, so I didn't use that, I just used one of mine here. We also get a USB-C cable for charging the internal battery. Now, this guitar body is carbon fiber, and interestingly enough, it only weighs 7.73 pounds or 3.31 kilograms, which is pretty nice considering it is an S-type electric guitar. I don't think this is any lighter or heavier than my actual Fender Stratocaster, so it's quite comfortable when it comes to its weight. There's 24 frets and a 0 fret as well, which is pretty cool. We don't often see those on electric guitars. And the fret edges, all that kind of stuff are nice, but we'll save all the playability stuff till the end of the video. We get a 15-watt speaker right here. This control here allows you to cycle through the presets, and it also allows you to adjust the speaker volume on the guitar. This control over here allows you to change the volume of these pickups, and we also can coil tap the bridge humbucker. This Super Strat configuration of 2 single coil pickups and a humbucker is pretty versatile, so you get some really beautiful clean tones, and if you like to rock and you don't want any buzz, you can go over to the bridge humbucker. The headstock looks nice, it's kind of got its own vibe going on, and we get a standard set of Enya tuners. We get an asymmetrical neck profile on here, so it does change shape as you move your hand up, but it's very comfortable, and we get a beautiful satin finish here. There's a 2-point floating tremolo on here, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's actually performed really well, and it's set up so if you're bending a couple of notes, it's not moving much. You kind of have to push it down, but it's nice and easy to move, which is cool. Bends great with the whammy bar, so you'll hear that coming right up. The Enya Music app allows you to select from presets or to fully customize your own sound, which is great. Or of course, you can just keep it simple and use this as a straight up electric guitar as well. This is a much nicer guitar in the hand than the original Nova Go Sonic that we showcased maybe a year or so ago. It feels like a more premium instrument in the hand. So they've kind of taken that original concept and kind of refined it with this one, which is great. Again, if you want to take a look, I'll link it down in the description.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. Ben's one of my favourite players, so thanks for being a part of this. As a southpaw, I'm unable to play this unless you want to hear some really bad blues licks, even worse than normal. So, yeah, I'm just going to let Ben do the playing today while I sort of focus on the app and all the other stuff going on in the room. So, yeah, welcome back, mate. You ready to make some noise?
I am. Let's do it.
Here we go. We're going to break this video down into 3 sections, starting with the onboard speaker system, which is a 15-watt speaker. So we're mic'd up with an AEA N22 ribbon microphone over here. And we're going to go through a couple of different clean presets, a couple of different overdrive, distortion, and high gain ones. And then I'll show you how to turn effects on and off because it confused me earlier. All right, so this one's called Soft Cry. Beautiful. How does it feel to play? That's a deluxe reverb amp.
I'm a deluxe reverb man. That's where I live.
This next one's called Old Time, which is another clean one. And if we take a look in the app here, you can see that we've got some delay, which sounds beautiful.
Second pickup, second position as well. So bridge and middle. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that delay sounds great.
Yeah.
We'll go over a couple of different overdrive ones, starting with Standing Here, which is kind of like a bit of a kind of classic rock kind of vibe. It's also maybe worth asking you, how does it feel to have the sound coming out of the guitar in the room?
It is strange. It almost feels like it's coming off that wall. So I keep looking over there for an amp, but it's not. It's down here. It definitely affects the resonance of the whole instrument in a way. I think that must be how you get that kind of extra sustain, like that singing.
It's probably similar to when you're like actually playing an amp behind you at close proximity.
Yes,
it starts to create a bit of,
like that self-oscillation kind of like feedback type thing.
I can hear it clearly from here too, and it's on the opposite side, so that's cool. This next one's called Texas, and this is another one in the overdrive section of the presets here. And that's with the chorus on. So if you want to turn off any of these effects or turn them on, you just sort of tap up to turn them off or down to turn them on. Let's just quickly add this delay for you. Here we go. Yeah. It's refreshing to hear some new licks, other than mine. Up next, we've got one called Vocation, which is in the Distortion preset. This actually sounds pretty nice. Yeah. And that's dead dry too.
Yeah, super dry.
Yeah. Over to Dream Road, which I think, if I had to guess, would have some sort of tremolo. It is a tremolo.
So, yeah, it's maybe evoking a certain Green Day song.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah, interesting.
We'll go over to a couple of high gain ones here, and I'm just going to click on overall, which is the last one. So I'm tipping this will have the most amount of gain.
All right, wish me luck.
All right, I'm just going to crank the drive all the way up here, and we'll also turn up the master because it wasn't as loud as the last one. Try, if you don't mind, try it again.
100% drive.
Yeah, man, shredding. That's great.
Oh no, the right hand's getting a workout.
We'll try one more. This last high gain tone is called Times, and it sounds like this.
That's the stuff.
That's awesome. The sustain's great, and it's also not feeding back. I think we might have had that experience on the first one where if it was too loud, it would just start going crazy.
Yeah, it's not doing that. It's more like feedback as opposed to
like musical feedback.
Musical
Exactly.
feedback. That's the one.
All right, great. So anyway, let us know what you think of those tones. Just with the onboard speaker, we're going to switch it up and go direct into an audio interface. Up next, we're going to take a look at the EFS Inspire wireless foot switch. Now this connects via Bluetooth. To get it to connect, I had to hold down button 2 and 3, power it on, and then it just worked, which was awesome. So this kind of works in conjunction with the guitar. And now we're actually recording directly into my audio interface via the guitar output. So it doubles as a recording solution as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, go for it, mate. Let's see how we go. Yeah, so that's great. So you get an idea how this works. You can set up 4 presets, switch them without even needing to worry about pushing the button on the guitar or doing anything complicated with the app. And this will work without actually having the app open as well, which is cool. Nice.
Brilliant.
All right, so up next, we're going to use it as a conventional electric guitar. And what amp are we going into?
The PV Bandit. Up the Bandit. It's a classic for a reason.
And this is mic'd up with the same mic that we had the speaker mic'd up with earlier on the guitar. So everything's pretty much as it is. I'm going to film the effects pedals here because we've got a whole bunch of different effects we're going to click on and off, but we're also going to just test it clean because everyone likes a nice clean tone. Well, that's what they say. So
I certainly do. Right side, Royal Flush. Both sides, lead sound.
Woo. Let's crank them all on. Let's hit the tube clon.
Tube clon.
Mate, that's mighty.
That'll do. That's
Is
a sound.
That's absolutely mighty.
That's huge.
Let's talk about how this thing actually feels to play. Obviously, I'm a lefty, which is why I'm sitting around with a phone in my hand.
Step back.
Yeah.
Right, so how does it feel to play? Surprisingly good. The finish is the satin matte thing kind of all over. And it's very comfy. The neck, it's not massive. It's not super Ibanez Wizard thin either. So it's right smack bang in the middle. The fretwork is actually really, really precise. And the setup on it feels good. And because of the kind of semi-hollow nature of it, it does resonate quite well, like in my left hand on the neck. The action setup right out of the box, super comfy, not crazy high action, not crazy super shredder low, just right in the middle at a good spot. I think it's a comfy neck. Setup feels solid all the way up to the top, and you've got that heel joint as well, so you don't have to contend with a gigantic block of wood as you get up to your 24th fret up there. So
cool. When I saw the floating tremolo, I was like, oh, this could go one way or the other, depending on how the nut is actually cut. And, you know, it came straight out of the box this morning, and we've tuned it up a couple of times throughout the video, but it's been pretty reliable with the whammy bar.
Yeah, I've been, like, I haven't been light with it. You know, I did a couple of dive bombs and stuff, and it was pretty much in, you know.
I think if you're looking for an all-in-one solution, you don't want a practice amplifier, you want to be able to record or use headphones, all that kind of stuff, it's a good guitar, but then you can also use it as an electric. And man, hearing it through the PV Bandit, just with the effects, it sounded unreal in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's partly in the hands, right? It's all about the gear. It's all about the gear. No. But the tone was just like every bit as good as any other guitar like this in the house. So it's pretty wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they've done a really great job with this. You know, the app is pretty limited in some ways from what my experience with it so far. You can turn effects on and off, but there's not like 100 different types of modulation or delay pedals. You kind of got a few to choose from, which is fine. And that's it. It means probably less option paralysis.
Less option paralysis. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to Ben for being a part of this video. Welcome back, mate.
Pleasure to be here.
He'll be showing up on a few more videos, all being well. So
you'll get sick of me.
Yeah. If you want to check this out, I'll link it down in the description. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.